description. So we already talked about the title tag and how important that is. If we look again, and I'm just talking, if we look at, I'm going to go to Firefox if I can make it work. It's still not working properly today. I'm going to go to Firefox. Let's just look at Google for just a moment. Again, I make a product called a stud finder. You might have seen that. I make several different products. So if I type in Zircon stud finder, you'll see a bunch of my products come up. Okay. You'll notice my website comes up first. You'll see my stud finder. Okay, this is my website right here. The first line right here is the title tag. Notice the title tag cuts off because I make a long title that's longer than Google has there. Usually it's like a sentence or a few words. But the title tag, or the description, I'm sorry, this is the description tag. You see these like 2 lines right here? Okay, this is called the description tag. I'm going to show you how to put it in right now. Okay, so how we put the description tag into Dreamweaver, using Dreamweaver to put the description tag in. Let me hide this right now. And you're not going to see it on the screen. It's in a meta tag above. And there's a link to some information about all the different types of meta tags. Some of the ones that you should look up and learn are the robot tag. What is the robot tag? Well, the robot tag is the one that Google uses to crawl your page. What I mean by the word crawl is Google goes and reads all the content of your page. You can direct Google how to read your page using what's called the robot tag. I'm not going to show you that right now. We'll talk about that a little bit later in life. We're just doing the description tag, but I'm telling you a couple other ones you should know. The other one would be you can do an author, which you could have copyright information in your code because maybe you have copyrighted information. There's also a way to not be in Google, because you might want to make a web page that's not in Google. Okay, you say, I don't want to be in Google, because Google, hey, they take everything and they steal all my information. They put all my pictures in their thing. To be not in Google is there's a no link, no follow kind of meta tag. I think it is also a robot one. I don't remember. We'll have to look it up. There's a link right there. If you look up that link, I think it's on that link. See the link in the handout? It says Wikipedia meta elements. Do you see that? Look up the one that says I don't want to be in Google. It's on there. I just don't remember the exact code. Okay, so there's a bunch of different ones. How you put them in, here's how you put them in. We're going to watch this. It's under Insert. Okay, it's a different version. Hold on, I got to remember. Head element, description. So, and you also have a keyword one. And then viewport is the one we're going to use for doing different resolutions of screen. What the viewport is it's analyzing how big the screen is, and then you can have it redirect to the appropriate website. When we get to responsive design, we'll be talking about that. That's what viewport is. So you have meta is the generic one. That's where you would do the robot and all the other ones I talked about. Keywords is a list of keywords, but Google doesn't use keywords, so I don't really put keywords in. Okay, keywords was an old way we used to do ranking in like Excite or Yahoo and things like that. All the old search engines used to use keywords. The problem with keywords is it was just a list of words that associated with your website, a list of words, so that the search engine knew where to put you in a category. The problem was people were just making up words, right? I would make a website that didn't have anything to do with porn, but I would just put, XXX, 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 so that I would rank, and when people are searching for porn, hey, my website came up, yeah, woo, It was a common problem. So Google won't even use keywords, so that's why I don't really use it. But the description tag is pretty important. That's the one you saw in Google right now when I was searching. If you go there, click on description, you can type in whatever your description is. And so the description should kind of relate to the title, which kind of relates to the content of the page. If you have all 3 of them relating, Google says, ooh, this is cool, and it ranks you inside that area. So you should have Raskov's, Raskov's flower shop in San Jose is the best flower shop ever. No, it's like 2 lines. You saw that? It's a little longer than the title. Yes? The description? Notice it doesn't show up on the page. Again, the descriptions under insert, head, description. Now again, if you can't remember how to do all these steps, did I show you how to take notes last class? Okay, so here's how you need to take notes. Use the screen capture and then open up Word and you can put it in there. So I'll show you what I mean. If you want to take a picture of the screen, right, you have Command-Shift-3, takes a picture of the entire screen, or Command-Shift-4, all holding them down, and you get a little crosshair. See the little crosshair on my cursor? And if I draw a box over something, it takes a picture of that. Where does that picture go? Well, that picture goes on your, let me hide Dreamweaver for a moment. It goes on your desktop. So, oh, here's a picture. Look, see, oh, look, it took a picture of the menu. That way you can save it. I had a, and then here's another one right here. See a picture? Oh, there it is. There's a picture of the screen. So you can take pictures as I'm talking and then have them all there. And then when you're done at the end of the class, you can take them, put them in maybe Word or something, and then print them all out. I think there's Word on these computers somewhere, isn't there? Let's see. Is there Word? Oh, here we go. Microsoft Word. Here we go. Word. Maybe you have Word open as you're going along. You can open up Word and you can drag your picture in there. Whoop, drag it in there. Come on, get in there. And then maybe even write a little note. This is how to put the description tag into Dreamweaver. Okay, so you can take notes as we're talking. Again, it's Command-Shift-3 takes the entire screen, or Command-Shift-4 gives you a little crosshair, right? Command-Shift-4 gives you a little crosshair, and you can take a picture of anything. Hey, I love the folders over here. Here they are. Boom. There, it takes a picture of the folders. There they are. Hey, see? So that might be good. I had back in 2003, and on a Windows computer, you have a print screen key on the keyboard, right? You can use that and then paste it into Dreamweaver. I had a wonderful student, Julie Jung was her name, Jung Kang. She was from Korea. Wonderful student. I was watching her. I was teaching in a Windows classroom, 2003. I was teaching a video class, and I was watching how she took notes. She would hit the print screen key on the keyboard as I'm demonstrating, and then she would go to Microsoft Word, and then she would paste using the Control-V, and she would paste it into Word, and then she would write some notes. And she kept doing that, and at the end of the class, she would like print out 8 pages of all the notes that I just said. I was like, wow, you're doing this. I'm like, give me those. I'll print them out and give them to future classes. Yeah. Now she works at a company. She lives in Pacifica, and she works at a company up there by Pacifica doing media graphics, photography. She does their website, their brochures, all that stuff. So, you know, there's a lot of possibilities in this field to do things, and they just sent her to Portland for training, and she goes to Texas. They send her places. She's having fun. Okay, so you see how to take notes? Let's move on. I can't take notes. Yeah? I think it's like 150 characters, I believe. I don't know. We could go here and count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, it looks like maybe 150. Do you think from here to here is like 150? Yeah, something like that. Maybe 100. It cuts off right here. See? It doesn't mean that Google won't read the rest, though. That's the other thing. You might want to put more in there. Google might read the rest. It's just showing short ones. Okay, let's move on. Okay, in the handout, we talk about the page properties. Now, the page properties in Dreamweaver is a great way to universally set some characteristics to your page before you start building things. What I mean by that is you can set background, you can set font, you can do all these things universally to your page before you start. Because right now everything's in Times Roman, right? Pretty ugly. If I want to change it, it's under Modify, just like in the handout. I think, do I tell you how to get to the page properties? I don't, do I? We will review the page properties option, especially the background option. I'm sorry. I didn't tell you where to find it. The page properties is underneath Modify. Page properties. Modify page properties. That's where it's at. Inside there, you'll notice there's a bunch of things in there. We're going to talk about a few of them now, specifically the background graphics. So if you want to change the default font for the page, right here is where it's at. You'll notice there is a list of fonts that are listed in there, and plus we're going to learn to put our own font in there. I like to put Google Fonts in, and if you haven't searched for Google Fonts, you can go and search Google Fonts, and there'll be a whole bunch of them you can download. Adobe has a whole bunch of fonts, but we'll talk about using Adobe's fonts. These are the pre-made ones that are in there right now. You can choose one and then hit Apply before you hit OK, and you can see it. So choose a font, hit Apply, and see what it looks like. Ooh, that's pretty ugly. Choose one, hit Apply. That's even uglier. Choose one, hit Apply. That's a little, well, that's pretty ugly too. That's a nice sans serif one. I like the nice bold there. Again, we'll learn how to make our own, well, not make fonts, but we'll learn how to use the fonts and apply them to a web page. You know, fonts are, we're never really in a web page until it's HTML5 or 4 started to. And in fact, let me tell you a little story. I love telling computer stories because I've been around doing this stuff for a long, long, long time. Back in 1997, Internet Explorer, or Microsoft Internet Explorer, they allowed you the ability to use your own font on your web page. And the first time they did that, the first week, Adobe, boom, sued them. And within 1 week, that was taken out of the Internet Explorer. Because, you know, that giant building in downtown San Jose that Adobe owns is not because they own Photoshop. Because they own all the fonts, a whole bunch of fonts. You know what I mean? They own the world of typography is Adobe, and they own PostScript, of course. But they immediately said you can't do that in Internet Explorer because if you download a font, you're voiding the licensing agreement that somebody has made with us. Because when you buy Photoshop, it comes with fonts. Hey, I'm buying a license to use those fonts. Okay, but if you let anybody download it into the browser, you're violating the license agreement with Adobe. So it only lasted for like 1 week, and Microsoft took that ability out of Internet Explorer. But now it's back. Now you can download fonts. But there was like 15 years we weren't able to download our own fonts on a web browser. We can do that now. Okay, let's continue. I don't change the size of the fonts. The reason why is because we'll do it in a different area. I might choose the font for the entire page, but I'm going to change that. And I'm not going to change the color because I want them to be different colors. I don't know. Background color, though, is an important one. If you want, you can make a background color for your web page. Again, as we're choosing colors inside of Dreamweaver, we're choosing these crazy numbers that you see down here. These crazy numbers right here. Okay, you can use those same crazy numbers in Photoshop, Illustrator, encoding. These crazy numbers are called hexadecimal values. Hexadecimal values. I can show you what that means if you want a little bit later. I don't want to tell you what it means right now. Basically, it means it's a way of, one of the downfalls of counting in the computer is you only have 0 through 9, right? Because you can't have a 10. Okay, so you only have 0 through 9 in the computer. You got 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's it, 9. So in order to count higher, they start using letters A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay, hence 16, hexadecimal, 16, yeah. So that's why you'll see a combination of letters and numbers for these. Yeah? No, they're different than Pantone colors. Pantone colors would be this using CMYK, where the hexadecimal values we use RGB values. So the Pantone would be more jan28, so that would be different.
So we can still match it up.
You could match it though. I'm sure if you can get a hexadecimal value in Pantone and get it here, I'm sure it'll work. I'm just saying universally I would not try to relate them to the printing colors. But I'm sure it'll work. If you go into Illustrator or InDesign and find that number, you bring it here, I'm sure it'll come out the same color. If you hit apply, you can see your background. Ooh, ugly gray. Ugly gray. Well, in the handout, I use something a little bit different. I use a graphic for the background. So I'm going to delete this right now. I'm going to delete that. Now, if you know, before I do that, you could remember your favorite color. My favorite color is light sky blue, and I can type it in, light sky blue, and it actually shows up. So you can actually use words in here also. You can type in the word blue if you want, or red. There's some common words that are used in there. So before we get to the graphic, I wanted to point that out. There's common words, and there's a list of words on Wikipedia. You can see purple, pink, mauve. They even have ones like that. So you can use words like this if they're commonly used in HTML. My favorite is light sky blue, or also light sky blue is put the pound sign in there. You got to put a pound sign in there for your hexadecimal values. If you don't put a pound sign in there, it doesn't work. My favorite color is 33. Oh, that's not 3. 33CCFF. That's also light sky blue. So if you remember what the hexadecimal value is, white is going to be FFFFFFF, FFFFFFF. Oh no, that's black. I'm sorry. White's 00000 00000. No, maybe I didn't do it right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it's 6 of them. Let me try FFF 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, white is FFFFFFFF 6 times. So again, you can go to Wikipedia. They have a great chart that lists all of them. Or you can use a graphic. Let's look at the graphic. You'll notice down here where it says background image, I'm going to hit browse. And I'm going to go to my flowers folder. It should automatically go to my flowers folder. If you look inside there, you'll see one that says back flower, back flower. I'm going to choose the one that says back flower. And now down here, keep this kind of default down here. A little bit later, we'll talk a little bit about changing this. Maybe you can actually have a one that's on the internet and things like that. But let's just use back flower for now. Leave the default down here. Hit OK. Now if I hit apply, what happens is the background will repeat. It repeats in both directions. Remember, this graphic is not full screen. It's only about this big. Okay? So what it does if it's only about this big is it'll repeat it. Now you can have it repeat it multiple ways. You can have it repeat it. You can say repeat X, which goes horizontally only. You can have it repeat Y, which goes vertical only. Or you can say no repeat, and it'll just put one flower in the upper corner. Okay, so there's ways of getting a background in different ways. In addition, later on I'll show you how to make a background that's fixed. It doesn't change. You just make a background. No matter how far they scroll up or down, it stays the same no matter what. We'll learn how to do that a little bit later when we get to graphics. In fact, I have a handout for graphics. We'll learn about all kinds of little graphic tricks in a handout that I've already made. But let's not do that today. We're doing basic stuff today. You'll get to that. But there is a background that you can make and it stays the same. Because right now, the background will scroll as you add more stuff. So I'm going to say repeat. I like it to go all the way across. Hey, I'm making flowers. Now this is a cheesy way to make backgrounds. Most people don't have graphics for the background anymore. I know it's kind of... In the early days of the internet, back in like the 1990s, we'd all like put our logo in the background there. Hey, it was cool, you know, because it was like the cool thing to do. But now it's kind of boring. Yeah, nobody really does that. We've learned a lot. So, let's not go through any more of this. We'll kind of have to come back. I want to go over the links. Well, let's jump to links real quick. It's not in the handout. I'm gonna deviate from the handout for a moment. Let's talk about links. So on the left side here where it says links, let's go there. So right now you'll notice we have the common blue link. with a underline, right? Do you see that in the links? Because we have go to Yahoo, go to Google, right? It's blue. That's the default. If you want to change that, you can do that here where it says links. So there's 4 states to a link. What are the states? Well, you have normal, rollover, when the person rolls the mouse over the link. Visited is when they leave the page and come back. What's the common visited color? Purple, right? When you come back to a page, it's usually purple. Hey, I've gone there before. Active is when the person clicks down on top of it with the mouse. Okay, so you can change these colors. I don't like the blue. I'm going to make it beautiful green. It's a green, so I'm going to click green. And then if I hit roll over, when the person rolls the mouse over the link, I want it to change to a nice purple. I'm just fooling around here. And then when they come back to my, ooh, purple is probably not good for the rollover because that's a visited, normal default visited. How about we get visited, we'll make nice, whatever that color is. And then active, we'll do red. And then you got an underline option here. You'll notice it's underlined as the default setting for a link. You could change that to never underline, show underline only on the rollover, or hide underline on the rollover. I'm going to say underline on the rollover. How about that? So if you hit apply, you're not going to see anything unless you roll the mouse over it. Okay, so if you want to, let's hit OK and let's test it. I know some of us have the testing problem with the little thing, but try changing some of these colors. You can change the size, the font if you want. I don't care. And then hit OK. And then hit the preview up here at the little earth and see what happens. Make sure you save. It's going to ask you to save. Oh, there's my rollover effect. Do you see it? So if we go to Google and go there and then come back, you'll see my my visited link didn't work. I don't know why my visited link didn't work. I don't know. But you should see a change in the rollover. Let me pause this video before the computer crashes.